Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for tuning into another episode of the podcast that is above all other podcasts. No, I don't know. I can't think of anything. I am your man, K Marvel.
What's going on, everybody? You already know it's your boy QS.
You already know it is. It's a big stretch of human encyclopedia. And I have a confession to make, ladies and gentlemen.
We do not want to hear it. We don't want to hear it today. We don't. We're not in the mood for it. We don't want to hear it. It's just mute him. Just mute him.
He's already muted.
Okay.
No, I'm not.
Oh, he was. He was.
No, I'm not.
I'm Striker Dragoon, and I just had my first meal of the day. So thank you for being here.
And as always, we are your four corners of commentary.
Oh, but he gets to speak.
Yeah,
he gets to speak with a mouthful of whatever it is he's eating, but I get muted.
Yeah, well, people are nervous when you talk.
He gets to speak, though.
Spare
he gets to drink beer on air.
People are nervous when you speak.
He gets
you
to
drink beer on air all the time. What are you talking about?
don't drink beer. That's a slanderous statement.
Oh God.
I will take you to court like you're Amber Heard.
Defamation.
Exactly.
You don't want to lose like
we have video proof.
Beer
what
on
are you
air.
talking about?
You do not want to lose like she just did. But
she lost bad.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, why don't we just jump into that? As a matter of fact, no. Let's not jump into that. Gentlemen, how was your Memorial Day?
I was what?
Memorial Day.
Memorial Day. Okay, it sounded like you had a stroke for a second.
Wow.
Scared me
I
there for a
worked.
second, Taylor.
I worked, so I just was getting that time and a half. So it's not. That was my Memorial Day weekend. I worked. I dealt with the ruckus that was over at Barclays for the fight.
Something went down over there. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I won't get into much into it on air. I'll speak about it off air if anything. But yeah, just getting with work and time and a half. That's it. That's all I get. That's all I'm pretty much cared about for the weekend.
Got to make that money, honey.
Hey,
but
ain't no other way.
I had a quiet Memorial Day weekend. I just chilled in the house and made myself a burger just so I can feel like I cooked out. But because I was pretty tired, like I had went out the night before and was really tired. So
I see there's like a running debate where it's just like everyone was like debating on like who's actually like at the cookouts, who's actually putting the stuff on the grill, who's not gonna cook at their cookouts, and we're like they're having a barbecue. It's like, well, you got to be bringing the stuff. It was all like a long-standing debate. Like,
right.
It was funny to see that on the timeline, at least.
Well, I guess I'll just give a shout out real quick to Kofi and good brother Bo from Dirty Heroes podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up going up to Harlem to go to their barbecue. So the family and I went through, and it was really dope actually. So, you know, we all got to talk. Mr. Black was there, so shout out to Jabba Tears. Anthony, oh God, I'm so mad I blanked out. I gotta find it.
Man's gotta write names.
BGW, I do. I'm really bad. At names. I tell everybody that when I meet them. So horrible with names. Here we go. So BCW, shout out to BCW. A promotion that's been around for close to 5 years. The anniversary show.
Great combination wrestling.
Up. Yes.
Vanity still champion?
No. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it's Maria Shafir.
Really?
Yeah. But yeah, I actually met the owner at the cookout.
Nice.
So yeah, he's a good dude, cool dude. Played Giant Jenga. You were dying. I don't know if y'all got to see the reels, but or not the reels, the stories. The shits were fucking hilarious. But no, it was really a good time. It was a great atmosphere. There was actually a lot of things said and a lot of things that kind of opened my eyes when it comes to this podcasting game that we are a part of. To which we'll talk about, of course, off air. But it was good. It was really good. Once again, shouts out. They welcomed all of us with open arms. Tiff, myself, Bells, and Tiff's niece. So it was really good. It was really good. We had a lot of fun. So, Strike.
Home. Don't think I was streaming, but just been home trying to get as much rest as I can in. Now that I'm working, so that's about it. Quiet Memorial Day.
Cool. Well, now let's get into this. Bam! The end of the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. Johnny Depp
Ding dong.
won. Did I spell it wrong? Oh. Johnny Depp won
EPP.
with and what is it? 13 mil. He's getting 13.
He was awarded.
He was awarded
15 million in total. 10 million for the defamation. The other one for punitive damages. However, where the trial was held, punitive damages have a cap of about
11.5. It's 11.5.
Yeah, it's like 11.5. It has a cap of 11 million. So he won about 10.5. He'll walk away with he'll walk away with 8.5 because Amber Heard won her countersuit of basically she won the suit saying like, oh, her abuse was a hoax, in which it wasn't. So she won $2 million. So in all, it cancels out to about 8.5 million to death.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, look, I mean, we've touched this the day before, and wow, did y'all read that? It's our boy Chris talk about, hey fellas, hope everyone's genitals are safe and your nipples prosper.
They will. they
That's the type of dank that we aspire to have on this show.
Like,
I grow up, I want to be that man.
I just from looking at this trial and looking at the basis of it, the long-standing notes of everything.
What up, Shy?
Folks, if you haven't been yeah, that is actually true. They did deem it as defamation, so she really didn't win. I mean, obviously that 2.5 million is probably going to cover her lawyer fees anyways. I think it's just because I think it's the narrative that what was interesting was the narrative she tried to spin after this whole verdict was announced, because Johnny Depp wasn't there. He actually was away, I think, touring with his band. Is what she tried to say, that this was like a loss to all women. Like, this is a loss to women. That was a spin, and it was like clockwork. She had it ready, whether she was going to win or whether she was going to lose. It was like, but now I guess when she lose, she went with this is a loss to all women. And this isn't. I don't necessarily see this as a loss to women. This is not a loss to women or to actual abuse victims. This is more or less, this is just a revelation on this is what happens. This is our end result of what can happen to someone who is manipulative, who manipulates, tries to lie, and you basically try to use misogynoir as like part of their reasoning to like this is where they were gonna get away with this. I think once they played that recording of her saying that like no one was ever gonna believe him, that he was actually getting abused because she's a woman and all of these things. I think that was partially what probably sealed the whole trial in general. I really think that was the nail in the coffin. Regardless of all the things that came out, the fake witnesses, the whole saying, using the so-called makeup company to cover the bruises, and they're coming out, and they further coming out saying that you actually can't use their makeup to cover bruises. Like, it just, a lot of the shit did start to crumble, and at the end of the day, I see it as like Johnny was just in a relationship clearly that he should have left a long time ago, and I can't judge him on it because I'm not gonna say that I won't say that he wasn't verbally abusive. He definitely was. You heard it on tape. You saw the therapist come in and give her account on their situation. But a lot of times we can't sit here and try to like think we're holier than thou because we've all probably have been in a situation or a relationship we have been in one or seen one where both sides are just not saying any kind things to each other.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen this. We've paid witness to it, so we can't. But I think the whole basis of this whole trial was that she went into these tabloids and tried to say that he physically abused her, that she didn't abuse him, and she was the well course victim all the way through, and he had the right to defend himself and say like, no, she wasn't. And he gave every single account. He was heard. The jury heard it, and they sided with what they did side with the individual that they felt was more just in this case. It is what it is. I know Amber Heard has already came out recently now and stated just now today that she does not have the money to pay Johnny Depp. That's what she's going with, that she's going to file an appeal because she does not actually have the 8.5 million to pay this man. And then my only thing to that is, oh well, you better go find some work. I ain't got nothing to tell you. You owe this man money. You owe this man his money. You need to pay. You need to run that check, run him his bread. I would honestly wish that Johnny goes and sues the rest of these companies, sues Disney, because they owe him a check too. They owe him a bag.
He said he won't sue Disney though, so
That's
I think WB is
WB
on the table.
WB.
Well, here's the thing with WB though. The thing with WB is that Robert Downey Jr. is trying to get his best friend to join him on Sherlock Holmes 3. Sherlock Holmes 3 is under the WB banner.
Right.
So it's a tricky situation because as much as
his best friend, you mean Johnny Depp?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Making sure. Just making sure.
Yeah. So the thing is, he sues WB. This won't happen. This
understandable.
This possibility won't happen.
So they should give him a handsome check in place.
I mean,
I agree on that.
I still feel they probably also owe him some bread because
Fantastical Beasts.
Yeah, for the travesty of that. I mean, sorry, you guys still owe him. No disrespect to the new Grindelwald they tried to.
Mads Mikkelsen is a great actor, regardless to what. But no, he didn't need to be in it.
Yeah, no disrespect to him, but you owe Johnny Depp a check. Like, we really only came to see Fantastic Beasts really because Johnny Depp killed that role as Grindelwald, and now the fact that when this whole thing happened, it happened off the hearsay from that tabloid. This is when it all started crumbling, and now that you
read that completely wrong just now. The commenter named Why. Why give that man his money? Why give him his money? Give his money
Why give that man run that check?
Completely wrong.
Why? Give that man his money. Yes.
Yeah, I'll say this. There's a really good article on Vox about the entire trial and the dynamics and stuff. During his own recordings, he said, I'm just sick and tired of the physical abuse that we do towards each other. So it's like, maybe he got into like some physical stuff, and maybe he perpetrated some stuff. We'll never know. We weren't there, so I'm not going to sit here and say, he was physically abusive. But I think it was made very clear that he was never sexually abusive towards her, and that was something that she claimed during her.
Yes, she did.
Something that she claimed during her original. The article that she shared.
I think like
something that she mentioned.
She shared it into, I think, the article, and also like put it out there, like to the tabloids that that try to hint at that he was the one that did that to her.
He was sexually abusive. Yeah, that was proven false. I honestly think that realistically, it's an illustration, I think, of how due process in this country should work. keyword should. It doesn't always happen that way. And usually when it comes to trials of abuse and sexual assault or whatever have you, women get the short end of the stick. However, in this case, it was found that this woman was being antagonistic. She was found on that recording, which I still think is incredibly disgusting. In which she said, go ahead, tell everybody that you, Johnny Depp, a man, are a victim of domestic abuse. And for her to then turn around and claim that she was a victim is an absolute slap in the face to anybody who has ever been a victim of domestic abuse, sexual assault in any way, shape, or form. That was absolutely disgusting to me personally. Absolutely, like on a visceral, personal level, I cringed when I heard that. And I'm so glad that was brought to light, that this woman was lying and, was being manipulative. But at the same time, they both were not the best versions of themselves. I think that needs to be talked about, and I think that needs to be understood. I'm not saying that I'm not here to do like comparative suffering in any way, shape, or form, just to be clear. But, she was physically abusive towards him. More than likely, he was very verbally abusive, and those two wrongs don't make a right. Same token, I hope they both get help, and I'm happy that they're both free of, hopefully, of this situation to be laid to rest.
Well, it could be finally laid to rest when she pays him his money.
But, that's a given,
Yeah, like when she pays him his money, it'll be officially laid to rest. But regardless, we could go back and forth. Was he verbally abusive? Most definitely. It seems that way. Was he a drunk? Probably so. Was he Ohio? Was he probably using drugs a lot in this relationship?
A lot of drugs.
Probably so.
You could see with the Paul Bettany situation too, with him and Paul Bettany.
So. But I think like once they really highlighted, when they started delving deep into the physical abuse of what she did, like putting shit in the bed and all that, like
that was
trying to cut off the finger. That's when it's just like, all right, this is just getting way too. I know we've seen toxic relationships, but this was like a whole different like level of, all right, this is just
played out on the internet.
And it got worse.
It's all over YouTube.
Like you hear rumblings of like abuse in relationships and on a Hollywood scale between two stars or whatever have you. But this was illustrated for the world to see, and that's what was so captivating about it. Like we all joke about like
I can't.
Even as a junkie, he never crossed the line.
He never crossed that line.
Oh shit!
Damn, that was
actually really got me laughing, bro.
That was actually really good. I aspire to have wit like that.
I like that.
That's one of my friends from the Dragoon Haven.
Is that
anybody.
So? Well, sir.
Yes. But what I will overall, what I will say is, yes, I agree with you, Stretch. They both need some heavy counseling. Yeah. I really. I would really, really hope that let this now be a lesson, y'all, that if you are in this type of situation, yes, it is okay. You need to just leave. Especially, this is like this is literally another example of intimate partner violence. Yeah, this is just intimate partner. This is now what we're just now seeing is intimate partner violence on like, and the male is just coming out as a victor for this. Because usually it does,
Usually,
men usually aren't getting the short end of the stick, but this is time.
Men usually get men do when it comes to like
they're the ones that really are dating labeled as like the abusers, the ones that are like really like the monsters. Statistically, yes, it's a very small.
Men are more likely to be perpetrators of domestic violence. However, that doesn't disvalidate that men are victims as well. Like
let's put it like this. I want that to be clear. Like it's not. We're not just.
That's the page that me and him are on the same page. I'm not saying that to say like men can't be victims of domestic abuse, like be in toxic relationships where they get physically abused. This was one of the rare examples of a man that was a victim of domestic violence and physically speaking, and he happened to win the case. It wasn't. We didn't get the societal, expectation of the man being so strong. Like, how could this innocent little flower and waif possibly abuse him when she was basically a fucking demon?
Yeah, I mean, let's put it like this. Number one, you know, there were signs in interviews on red carpets.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Johnny literally asked for help, and you know, people just kind of glossed over it because he was a celebrity. Number two, the loss goes to liars. Period. Like the people
Right.
who
lying.
who decides that they want to, you know, go in and do the wolf, you know, cries wolf shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
this is really sad because when you think about it, you have very serious situations. You have rape cases, you have abuse cases, you have things where men are blamed and either they're killed, they are sent to jail for life, and when the evidence comes out that they were completely innocent, it's like, okay, it's water under the bridge, you know, we're just going to let him out, but you don't take into account the mental, you know, punishment that person went through. You
Right.
don't
Yeah.
take the emotional punishment that person went through.
and
Social
and-
slander.
I mean, the thing, and the
Right.
other thing is that, you know, Stretch hit on it earlier. This is much more on a global scale, so it's not just a simple aspect of mental abuse, and not that it's ever simple, but you know, the smaller scale aspect of mental abuse or the time consumed in doing all of this. Like, this is on a much larger scale.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the best thing about this is that it is in the forefront, and people do, you know, realize that number one, not you know, there's always gray. Number one, not everything is black and white. And number two, that you know, this is just another case of mental health that needs to be spoken about. Um, so you know, bottom line is, you know, hopefully liars won't prosper, and you know, once again, one of the few times that the world sees that the justice system is actually works in a way.
I think it's like balancing like the men's side. It's just an illustration that, you know, if you're a perpetrator of domestic violence, regardless of your gender or gender identity, that if it's proven to be in court, like, justice will prevail. You know, I don't care if Amber Heard was, you know, a fucking Vulcan from Star Trek. You know, the fact that she was doing all this stuff to that man,
Right.
and perpetrating all this stuff, and then throwing it in his face that, you know, oh, nobody's going to believe you because you're a man. You know, that justice deserved to be fucking served in this case, regardless if she's a woman or not. I don't care if she's a goddamn man. You know, I would want her to see. You know, I would want to see the book thrown at her for if this was a man doing this to a woman. You know,
like,
and I know that's not what he's saying or whatever have you, but you know, the fact that that recording is just so vile, man. Like,
I don't think that this is going to be like, this is like a men versus women thing. It's not. It's
more of a,
it's about the truth.
more of a perpetrator getting nailed up.
It's just the moral of the story is just, if you are a lying, manipulative individual, like, please don't sit here and think that you are going to, like, you know, try to weave your way out of this if it ends up going to like this extent of, like, if it goes to trial, if it goes to a court. This is just a lesson, like, oh, this is a loss for any liar or manipulator out there. Like, you think you gonna get away with this? You won't. You're not.
Yeah. Yep. So you know, it is what it is.
I mean, it is. I mean, it is still going to just be. It is what it is, and it is as always going to be. Fuck Amber Heard.
Word.
From the words of Kiss himself. Fuck Amber Heard.
Yeah, fuck Amber Heard, man.
Pay
that man his money.
You have no sympathy for me, and you better you might as well go get to work because you got some bills to pay. You got a bill to pay.
That's right.
She got the same syllables as Orange Man. Fuck Amber Heard. Fuck Amber Heard. Fuck Amber Heard.
That's right. I better see $1 million every year. Better see $1 million every year.
Like,
Better go start our OnlyFans.
Oh,
that's a fact.
Man, ain't nobody want to see that.
No, niggas, no, niggas will pay for that.
Yeah, no, they would. They would.
You better hope she get a check from them 12 minutes in Aquaman 2. I don't know. Like
those 8 minutes?
If that.
Better get a check. I don't know.
It's very sad. WB can
that
rectify that
much.
whole situation after the Flash movie. They can rectify that whole situation.
Like she should be like people saying she broke. I hope that girl ain't broke.
I would hope not. Like,
I mean, shit. How'd she pay the lawyers?
I'm just saying, like, even from like not even from like the humanistic, like, oh, how will she eat standpoint. I'm just saying, like, you're a movie star. You should be getting a residual check, like, at least every month.
Royalties.
You don't have a residual movie for her. Truthfully, the fact that she's not going to be in Aquaman 3 or any Aquaman movies or any DC involvement after this, there's no ripple.
Man.
Yeah, WB's just a shitstorm at this point.
Well.
Oh, so just quick news on WB since we're speaking about WB. Apparently the Joker director what's his name? Tom Phillips? Is it Tom Phillips? Maybe I'm wrong.
No, man, he's a commentator on Impact.
All right, well, Tom Phillips is.
Yeah, I was going to say the other name, but I'm not going to say that.
Thanks.
The director of Todd Phillips, excuse me. Todd Phillips is apparently in the running to be DC's Kevin Feige. So, we might see something interesting.
That'll be cool. Finally saw Doctor Strange. Oh God,
yeah.
Oh, fucking finally, man.
Blue noodles, man. You don't look at blue noodles the same again.
Yo, dude.
Nobody should look at blue noodles.
Bitches.
He shouldn't be looking. Yeah, nobody should be looking at blue noodles.
That shouldn't be a thing.
But anywho, let's jump into this. We're just gonna touch a little bit of the pay-per-view that just passed, which is AEW Double or Nothing. Excuse me. Let's see. So, Adam Cole, Bebe, and Dr. Britt Baker both won their respective Owen Hart tournaments. The belts, very beautiful.
Yep.
They look like those old school door knockers, like that you would see on doors.
Oh no!
I realized
this is the truth.
I realized the belts were like paying homage to like the old Stampede Wrestling title belts.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's based off the Stampede Wrestling belt. Yep.
That was nice. That was really
nice.
Tribute.
But yeah, so a lot of people are giving them slack, saying the tournament was pretty much pointless because they won.
Well, as your first tournament winners, it's a go ahead, do away with it, because the next tournament they might have to defend those belts. But I think they're giving new belts to everybody. Well, I forget what it was. I don't remember if it's the trophy they keep and the belts they defend each tournament or something of the sort. I don't remember exactly what I read.
I mean,
but
I don't think anybody should be complaining that these two won the tournament. Number one, I think.
No, I mean they're a happy couple. They're on WBTV wherever they can be. I think that's fine.
I think that people are just complaining that it's a goddamn couple that won the tournament. We got a night of good wrestling as far as the tournament was concerned. A lot of good matches. Just be happy that Owen Hart is getting some type of commemoration in wrestling.
Yeah, I think that probably would just been it was nice to honor him, but I think it should just leave it as like a one and done, because it's like because that's the thing. It's just like, are y'all really gonna keep, unless they're gonna like make this a yearly thing and they have to like defend those belts? And
that could be that could be the King of the Ring.
Well, they're already calling him the King and Queen of Hearts. So,
man,
that's a little
King of the Ring thing.
And low key, like this kind of like, I don't think people notice it, but like low key, it kind of felt like Britt Baker was like a baby face from this. Like somehow she like.
It's been seeming that way, that they're trying to turn her baby face.
And I'm just like, okay, she's a face. Nice. Like it was
because even for her matches. Because
I don't
even to
think
her
I-
matches, you're starting to see her get like a little annoyed by
I think-
Jamie Hayter getting
Yeah,
involved.
it was
Yeah,
just
well,
obvious.
Jamie looks like she's about to turn any second now. So
They've been doing that.
I
for a
hope
couple of
Jamie
months.
turns face.
Yeah.
That's who I'm hoping.
Yeah, they've been doing that for a couple of months, and it's
Yeah.
like, come on, turn already.
Just Turner.
You know,
somebody said that they wouldn't mind her in the Blackpool Combat Club, and I kind
no,
of agree with
straight
they
that.
want to
choice.
put everybody in the Blackpool Combat
Yeah.
Club.
I mean, but Jamie's rough. She's rough around the edges. That's a rough around the edges group. I mean,
Yup.
why?
I'm just talking about fans.
If
in general.
Stardom
Like,
wants
Yeah,
Jamie
they want-
Hayter, she's worth it.
Yeah, they
Trust.
want everybody.
they
do
want everybody in goddamn
Yeah.
Blackpool
They do.
Combat
They
Club.
do want
Dude,
everybody to.
don't turn it into the NWO, folks. This is
Yeah.
an exclusive club. They're fine with the members they have. Not everybody needs to join the damn club. Not everybody needs a token woman.
That's very true.
What else?
Disrespect
Wardlow
women out there.
took MJF out
Well, you gotta clarify.
pretty.
Pretty easy.
Yeah, it was
10
pretty.
power bombs.
Yep,
That
10
was-
power
it was
bombs.
nice.
Representative
Moving
of
on.
10 lashes.
So that was good. The Hardys.
Wardlow was
beat-
free,
I just-
courtesy
Yes,
of Cody.
He is all elite. The Hardys beat the Young Bucks.
Courtesy of Cody.
So that was cool.
Meh.
Let's see. Scorpio Sky and Crew beat Sammy Guevara, excuse me, and
Thank
Crew.
God.
So Sammy and
Guevara-
Frankie can't challenge for the TNT title.
Thank God. Get him away from the title. Give new people
What else?
Scorpio
What
Sky.
else? Oh, Jurassic Express kept the tag team titles, to which I was actually kind of shocked because
I'm 50-50 on that.
Let's be honest, everybody showed out that match. It was a
That
really
match
good
was really
match.
fucking good.
It was a great match. They had a lot of great spots.
We have to
And the
cross,
chemistry was
we
all
have to
around.
cross-reference our predictions next time. I know I got that one wrong.
Yeah, as did I.
I got that one
Awesome.
wrong.
House of Black
I
won.
don't even remember what I guessed on the
Yeah,
sky.
House of
Yeah,
Black
I guess
won.
House of Black. So that's
That,
cool.
honestly, I think I guessed House of Black. Yeah, but
I don't think I did.
I don't remember what I guessed for the Scorpio Sky and Company versus Sammy Guevara and Company match. And
I think
Mine
we.
was
I
with
think we.
Scorpio.
I personally
Quite
believe that.
honestly,
I think
I
we
personally
all said
believe we
Scorpio.
skipped that one. I think we skipped that one.
Did we?
we might have
Yeah,
skipped
we
that. It
did.
doesn't feel like we
Yeah,
talked
because
about
we
that
didn't.
match.
Because
I
we
don't
didn't.
think
Because we
we
didn't
did
care.
either.
We didn't care about the match.
Which,
We wasn't
yeah, I was
like,
just about to say, like, out of all the
Yeah.
storylines, it was like, I'm so glad that this one.
Well, no. Well, that match was also announced that Friday.
That
so
Friday,
we didn't even
yeah.
know about it.
Oh, true. Fair enough.
Yeah, that happened that Rampage.
Yeah.
So we couldn't have spoken about it.
Fair enough.
The Jade retained the TBS title. And the great part was that there was a reveal that Athena, formerly known as Ember Moon, has signed with All Elite. I've personally been waiting for this to happen, and I hope
Jade has been
she
too.
does really great. Yeah, they were talking a lot of shit on Twitter.
Yep.
So, and it looks like she got the backup of Chris Statlander and Anna Jay. So
Ugh.
that'll be really interesting to see where it goes.
Baddie section
But
all
I'm
day.
happy. Yeah, but I'm very happy Athena is signed.
And we got Stokely.
Yeah, and
Stoke.
yeah, man. Stokely
Yo.
Hathaway is joined up with Jade.
If you
So
see the
that-
media scrum, big they bigged him up real big.
As it
Real
should.
fucking big during the
great.
media scrum. And I was very happy to know that Jade loved him prior to, him getting signed. But if you listen, they said that his
even though
his
she didn't
30
know who he
day
was.
huh?
Even though she didn't know who he was initially, she didn't know who he was, but she was happy to meet him and get to know him and actually like see how good he is on the mic.
Mhm.
She is happy to continue working with him. Look at you.
Luckily enough for Tony Khan, his 90 days ended day before Double or Nothing, so they just flew him out and signed
30
him.
days, I thought.
Was it
Yeah.
30? No, it was
NXT
90.
It's NXT.
NXT
It's
contract.
Oh, it's
30.
NXT. Okay, so yeah, his 30 days was up right before Double or Nothing, and they signed him. So that's really cool.
Yep. What Thunder Rosa retained the AEW Women's World Title against
Mhm.
Serena Deeb. It was going to be too early for Thunder to lose, I think.
Yeah.
But still a really good match. Signed who? You were talking about Athena, formerly known
And
as Ember
Formerly
Stokely
Moon.
known as
Hathaway,
Ember
aka
Moon
And Stokely Hathaway,
and
yeah.
Stokely Hathaway.
Stokely, excuse me.
aka Malcolm Bivens.
Yeah,
Yes.
formerly, no,
FKA.
FKA.
Oh, sorry, FKA. Excuse me.
Excuse me. Darby Allin lost to Kyle O'Reilly.
Good.
Good announce match.
Pre-show. Hookhausen beat Tony Nese and
Smart,
Mark
Sterling.
Who didn't
Sterling.
see that coming?
Which is not
Right.
which is not Jade's manager anymore. He is now officially just her lawyer.
Just
Yeah.
legal counsel.
Yeah, he's a legal counsel.
Those are most of the title matches. I know that I didn't say the last one on purpose. Was there anything else? That was it, right? In the title match?
The Anarchy in the Arena.
Yes. The Jericho Appreciation Society. Kingston and Company. Let's just put it like that.
The Bronx.
That match was nuts. Let's call it what it is. It was everywhere.
It was Blackpool Combat Club and the Bronx. That's exactly what it was.
And that's why they lost.
Is he from Yonkers?
That's why they lost.
Yeah, I think he's from Yonkers, I believe.
No, yeah, Eddie Kingston is from.
But it was a controlled chaos, and I think matches like that are, even though it is everywhere, it being that controlled chaos definitely made it.
Thank
crazy.
Jericho for that.
Placement, though, and before we get into the main event, I think the placement of the card was a little funny. I think certain matches shouldn't have been where they were, like the tag
on the card.
I think the tag championship match shouldn't have been after the Anarchy match. I mean, the crowd was still in it, but it was just something weird.
It was also a night, like, it progressively got better. Like, this
It
show
was late.
started out really goddamn flat. I don't know about you, but like, it seemed like after everything, like after the main women's match, it got a lot better. Because I was watching and was like, this is
Amen.
Hey, Squishy.
Squishy.
Love you, Squish.
Okay.
Shout out to the doggo.
Word.
On her show.
Falcor.
Doggo.
Yes.
Good doggo.
Shout out to
Good boy.
Falcor.
We love Goodest boys here. It was a show that started like it was pretty rocky, and it got a lot better as it progressed. It really kicked into second gear because it's like I was sitting there, I was like, "This is not a good omen. This is not a good omen." To segue. This is not a good omen for the rest of the show. I was like, "This is going to keep up." I'm like, "This is not living up to the hype," but it soon progressed. I think it's most interesting. We'll get into the MJF stuff later, but that they started with that because it was it was a squash, number one,
right?
Which was satisfying. It was like
it gave everybody that good feel moment for the beginning.
Satisfying. You want to see a guy that runs his mouth like MJF. You talk people in the seats. I tell people all the time, like he's supposed to lose like this as a heel. He's at the point where he can literally talk himself into a good position wherever he goes. So he doesn't necessarily need to win in convincing fashion. It's like, oh, he never wins clean or whatever have you. That's the point. He's a heel. He's supposed to fucking cheat. And we love him for it. But going on with the rest of the card, it got much better as the night progressed. So.
Yeah, for sure. And then let's jump into that main event. The champion at the time, the champion was Adam Page, but he lost to Mr. CM Punk. 53-year-old CM Punk, 43-year-old
43-year-old CM Punk.
Excuse me.
That's not Ric Flair.
I'm not right. I'm not saying that to be spiteful. I'm actually happy he won. I hope this is I hope this is a turn for Page.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I think that's the best way to handle that.
If what was discussed with us with the Forbidden Door lineup, if that's the route that they're going with possibly him versus Okada, you'll see the heel turn.
Yeah.
You'll see the heel turn.
And look, man, I'm happy for CM Punk. Let's call it what it is. You know, we never thought that he would even be able to wrestle, and here he is, AEW World Champion. So good for him. Congratulations, brother.
We have a malcontent in the group.
No, it's cool.
We
Always.
have a malcontent in the group.
Always. There's always one of us.
Look, he agrees as well. He said it in the media scrum afterwards. He said that he's barely, sometimes he's messing up moves, and he knows.
Don't move like he used to. He never was a world-class athlete. Let's get that out of the way. As far as like
shit, couldn't tell him that.
As far as like,
he was just
I'll say this, like he's like a B athlete. Like if we're looking at it from like a sporting standpoint, he's a B athlete. He's not necessarily like a guy that ever played like sports growing up, stuff like that.
Did you just give him the authority line?
No, I didn't mean it like that. I mean, I just
B plus.
Look at it this way.
He's a B minus.
Look at this. Luka Doncic is a B plus athlete, but he's a hell of a basketball player. CM Punk is a B plus athlete, but he's a hell of a professional wrestler. So it's like, you don't necessarily need to be the most athletic guy in the room to be the most impressive wrestler. There's much more to it. He talks on the mic really well. He has the best grasp on like wrestling psychology in the entire company. I think. With that said, I think that he's like, I think he needs to slow down a bit because I agree he is, botching moves lately, and he doesn't move as crisply as he used to,
and he's not going to,
and right. He's only getting older,
He knows that.
And I'm not saying that to say like, he's unwatchable. Like, people fuck up. Like, I'm not saying like this is a continued trend or whatever have you. We've seen worse botches over worse periods of time. We lived through Sin Cara, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my god. Time out.
So it's like, he fucked up. So what? He fucked up, But I think that he'll have a fantastic reign. I think Adam Page, honestly, is a better. And I said this last podcast. I think he's a better challenger than he is a champion. He had really good matches as a champion, but he just felt like an afterthought. Yep. I think for the first time in a long time since, well, let me not even say that, but we've been around for 3 years. But I think since Kenny Omega, this is the first time that the champion has potential not to feel like an afterthought, and that's going to be big going forward for the company.
Well, he is the biggest. So you mean he's the biggest draw in the company?
Yeah, he's the biggest draw in the company. Like, why wouldn't you put the belt on him?
That's a segue. But go ahead.
Well, let's go ahead.
What? Because I think like everybody is like, I feel like everyone's just afraid to like give the criticism that is deserved.
No,
let's just
no.
I'm with you here. I'm with you there.
Let's just say it. Because I'm gonna go and say it. The pay-per-view was a 6, and still stands. It's still a 6.
I don't think it was that bad.
No, and the 6. No, because if we're going, because like here's the thing about a lot of like I get a lot of the fandoms. We criticize WWE so much. You can do the same thing for AEW as well because
that's a
you want them to be better. Everybody wants to say that the first match MJF and Wardlow, it was so satisfying to see him squash. No, it wasn't. Because for all of that, it wasn't.
MJF give some fight.
To me, it
was.
I didn't get any offense.
Yeah, I think for all of that, you didn't have to even put him on the card. Then you could have just left that out.
Right.
That took time away. I didn't need to see that. Hookenhausen, we already knew. We didn't care about that. We already knew the buy-in. It's whatever.
The buy-in should have been more than one match.
I'm not
as much as y'all know. I stand Jay. Y'all know this. Anytime Jay comes on my TV screen, all 3 of these other men will know. I tell everyone, shut up, quiet, perfection is on the screen. And I didn't like that match with her and Anna Jay. I didn't like it.
Nobody wanted that Anna Jay match though.
It's like these are like
it wasn't the best work.
As I said, Double or Nothing. This Double or Nothing pay-per-view because they usually for me they've been like they've been 2-0 with Double or Nothing. It's like, all right, knock it out the park. This is the one where I'm just like, was just It wasn't. It's not terrible because if it was terrible, I'd have gave Double or Nothing a 4. It was just it's average. It was like a 6. It's solid. It's now and it's probably going to be, if anything, if I'm being real generous, it's a solid 6.5. But it as I said, Double or Nothing to me is like a J. Cole album. It just the talent is there. You know that it's good. The potential is all there. But it's like you look at the matches like songs. It's song placement. The match placements for me is what really threw the whole pay-per-view off. You didn't, like I said, you didn't need to have the tag match after Anarchy in the Arena. You didn't need to have that. You didn't need. You see how
that should have
hurt
been
I agree with that, Maddie. I agree with that.
You look at how hurt Jeff is. You can see it on the man's face.
That man,
Yo, they didn't need to have that match either. I was just like, yo, what
I'm all the way.
doing?
Yeah, I'm all the way good on seeing. People are getting so up in arms about this Hardy Boy reunion. I'm like, I'm all the way good on seeing them wrestling.
And look what we saw. It's like, I can't sit here and like when I see everybody else's ratings and everyone gives and says like, oh, this perform. It was spectacular. It was a good pay-per-view. It was nice. A lot of good feel-good moments.
Like,
it damn sure ain't. It's not a 10 out of 10, and it damn sure ain't close to an 8.
I'm not saying that. I personally,
anybody else giving it an 8, I'd be like, you're being way too.
I personally gave it like I gave it a solid 7.5, only because
I think 7.5 is where
it started like tractor slow. Like the first 3 matches were like, oh god, I don't like it.
Yeah, it was like
but it was matches, like
honestly, what brought me into it really was House of Black versus Death Triangle. That's what was keeping me in. I'm like, okay, now we got a good match,
and we got the turn at the end finally. Fucking the heart. So it's like, I get it. Like, but even to those matches to me have been done to death. Like, how many 6-man tag matches can these sides have? And it's like, okay, like the same people who say like, God, they do so many rematches.
Bring the belts.
WWE. It's like Jesus. Like they've had to have like what is this like the third 6-man tag that they've had or some type of tag match between these two sides. I'm just ready to see them move on to something else.
AEW, it's like AEW. They have 6-man tag matches, and WWE has triple threat matches. These are like
you're absolutely right.
These are just certain match types that are just getting overran to the ground. And granted, y'all already know
something about those multiples.
As I said, Serena Deeb and Rosa. No one really was talking about this match. Why? Because it was a fucking afterthought. It was just by the time that match came on, it was just like, oh, well, okay.
And it was a good match.
And it's a good match. Really good match. We're not talking about it. Why?
Right. It was a really good match.
It was a good wrestling match, and it was a fucking afterthought.
I thought that was a good match. I thought the tag title match
was
a really good match.
The tag title match.
I thought Anarchy in the Arena was fun.
Mm-hmm.
I think the main event was really good. But
to me, I think Anarchy in Arena was the best thing on the card because of only because it's the best thing in the card, just of how entertaining it fucking was.
Mm-hmm.
That's why
you can expect that from Jericho.
It literally it kept you locked in. And you're like, oh shit, this is good. Like, and I agree with you, Squishy. It was a good match. But again, that's like by the time their match came on, you just was like,
you were kind of pulled out of it. You didn't really want to care.
You were just like, like the tag titles didn't change hands. You know what? Believe it or not, I'm actually okay with Jurassic Express beats holding the titles. I'm okay with them. I'm actually okay with them. I know everybody would have wanted probably you would probably want to see it on Swerve.
Swerve in my glory.
You would have probably wanted Swerve in glory.
I predicted that it should have been Wardlow.
To get it.
Powerhouse Hobbs and
I get it, but
Ricky Stark. Ricky Stark. That's
what I think. What Jurassic Express is basically now solidified for me is like, yo, no matter what they're gonna defend these titles, they're gonna give you a fucking show, and it's just like
always
solidify it. Let them stay.
Always.
Let them stay.
Wait for that Christian train.
I think they're gonna go heel.
Now with Punk and Page, I'm not. You see, I'm not. I don't really want to talk about that whole Scorpio Sky boat. I want to talk about that.
Nobody wants to talk about that. Let's move
The
on.
one person.
No.
All I'll say about that is the only person I feel bad for in that match is fucking
Kaz.
Kazarian.
Yep.
Kazarian didn't deserve it. He doesn't deserve to be dealing with that shit. That was a joke.
He had an amazing match. He had an
That was
amazing
a
match
joke.
with Chris Sabin just a couple days before that.
They
and
don't.
then
They
you
don't.
come ruin it with
Honestly,
that shit.
I think it boils down. They don't know what to do with him, and it's like they keep trying to like shove him into these prominent spots and these stars. It's like he just shows up. Like remember, he was the elite hunter. Like it's like no thanks, champ. Like we got it from here. Thanks for the assistance, though, but you know you're not very effective.
Okay.
But I think the match, to me, the best match was the one that was unannounced. And it was Darby Allin versus Kyle O'Reilly. I really enjoyed that match.
I felt like that match, it was good.
It was announced late.
Like, but I would have enjoyed it more if it was like on the buy-in. I would have.
Yeah, if it was on a buy-in, I would have paid more attention.
I agree. If that would have opened the show, I think that would have done really well.
Or to be honest with you,
it would have did wonders for them.
To be honest with you, even if it was after the Anarchy match, because not saying it was a quote unquote boring match because it wasn't.
Too late in the card.
It would have been that would have been a good cool down match.
Yeah.
That match happened after the tag match.
Agreed.
I think they got after the women's title match. I think they nailed the match placement after that. Everything else just felt like, well, let's put this here, let's throw this here. Like even the tournament matches didn't really line up to me.
Now
they were back to back, weren't they?
Now Punk and Page.
It was all right.
I want Phil Brooks to never. I really wish. Please never do a buckshot lariat again.
Oh God, that was
That's the only thing I have. That's the only thing I have.
So he said in the media scrum too. He said he hit it before and he just didn't do it that night. And I was like just don't do it.
He was beat.
I get it. You're 43. You're up there. You can do it. We know. We get it that you love this. And I've more power to you for CM Punk. You love this, but you're 43.
He's not. He's 43 and
you're still
natural. He's to me, and I don't mean this as any disrespect in any way, shape, or form. Obviously, he's more athletic than me. For people who are watching this, he's not a natural athlete. He's a wrestler. Don't get me wrong. He's athletic. Don't get me wrong. But he's not like AJ Styles 9 times out of 10, 9.9 times out of 10 can hit that move without a hitch.
Yep.
For example, guy like Shelton Benjamin can hit that move without a hitch.
He's not a CM Punk is not an AJ Styles. He's not.
You're right. He's not that athlete, that type of mold to where he can consistently like springboard off the ropes at this stage in the game, at least. Yeah. He's not that type of guy where he's going to be busting out springboards and moonsaults and after 20 minutes in a match.
Well, granted,
he never was like that.
We got this. We got an unsolicited ass shot. Even though we didn't need to see that either, but we got that. We got an ass shot.
Worked for Flair.
Like the homage and everything to Flair. But overall, again, he's a champion. I do still feel that Punk's this reign, the Summer of Punk. You got a lot of fans are calling it the Summer of Punk too, because I get it. A lot of y'all didn't. A lot of y'all did. A lot of people actually, believe it or not, I guess they were not there for Summer of Punk 1. We were there.
Right.
We were there for 1 and 2.
A lot of these fans now they're pretty young. They were probably 10.
We were there for 1 and 2.
Exactly.
Right. You count his you don't count his 434 day reign as
2.
No, I say that's
his ROH championship run was the Summer of Punk 1.
Actually, I would say this is 4 because his initial WWE championship run, he turned heel against Jeff Hardy, and that was also during the summer.
No, his world heavyweight title.
That was for the world.
I'm talking about his world heavyweight title. Yeah. Thank you for correcting.
Because a lot of people because when everybody I think that's
but I wouldn't count that though.
It
wasn't the same. He had the title for 2 months before he lost it to Taker.
I still think I count it for the sheer fact that was one of the best feuds I think of that time period.
Right. Yeah, no, for sure.
2009 for me at least. I was like, To me,
I
that
just
was
think
just like
that-
a flat period. I was like, I can't even watch this shit on the weekend.
But it's funny how they're calling. But it's funny how you're saying it's 3. Like it came over. You call it 3, but everyone else is calling it 2, which goes to show that either people are not counting his title run in Ring of Honor, or they're just really like trying to omit his WWE reign completely.
No,
Which
I honestly, I honestly think it's just more so that a lot of people, especially people who've always watched the WWE, doesn't know about his ROH history. So because of that, they count the Summer of Punk with the 434-day reign
They are fools if they don't.
being one. But I don't understand how you can discredit or if you haven't seen it or seen anything during his ROH championship run during the Summer of Punk 1, please go back and watch, because he has some of the most amazing ROH title matches in history.
It's a reason why he's getting inducted into that Hall of Fame. Like he's literally he's one of those pillars. It's no question. I won't take that away from him. But I think
Samoa Joe,
yep.
Brian
Danielson.
without question, Brian Danielson.
Well, Adam Cole's later though.
I'm just saying, like, as far
low
as
key,
as far as like a pillar is concerned,
I just want to point out that again, that with Punk as champion, it is most likely going to just once again it just sows a seed. It goes back to that. It goes to the segue with MJF.
Matty, I got you.
We got you, Matty.
We're gonna talk about it. We're closing the show on that.
It's about to come in. This is actually we're about to go into that. Does he count? Is it going to count into that reign? Is he going to be the one to be? Do you think it's going to be a long reign for him as AEW champion? Do you think that he's just probably is going to prove like that old Triple H promo, that Mark and Me promo? Is it going to prove him right?
I just want to touch on this really quick before we get to that. It depends to me on his alignment. If he is a heel champion, I think he's holding on to that belt for a while. If he's a face champion, I think he's going to drop that belt after about 2 defenses or so. I don't see him lasting long as a face champion. I really don't.
Now let's.
I disagree.
No. Okay.
You moved like a cow twice just to tell me you disagreed.
Well, I'm letting you finish your point, but I'm making the noise so I have to say something.
All right, well, go ahead. Use your words.
Striker, get your point out before so we can go into this beautiful.
Yeah, so we can go to the pipe bomb. Yes, because I don't really want to talk about Punk anymore. But no, I think corporate Punk is going to be the exact opposite of his previous, persona. Face of the company runs. Right. I think it's going to be great as long as they keep it like a John Cena, where he's so face that you hate this shit, but he's going to give it to you anyway. For where he's at in his life right now, I think because of how he loves AEW, I think it's going to be that. He's going to be the corporate champion, and he's going to push that.
I think him winning the belt is a boon for the company. I think it'll be interesting.
I mean, I guess it was a boon. I guess it was. It's a good feel-good moment. It's like, okay, Punk's champion again. I would have probably rather Brian Danielson, but it's okay.
Oh,
all right.
That's coming.
Well, all of us would. Yeah, we're all Brian Danielson marks. It's all of us would.
But yeah,
let's do this.
The beauty. What transpired on Dynamite yesterday?
So
yeah,
MJF has been going on Twitter and a lot of interviews, basically just saying he doesn't get recognized for his hard work, and he deserves to be paid more than what he's getting paid because of said work. So there was a lot of things going on before Double or Nothing, talking about is he going to be there. He didn't show up to a meet and greet that Saturday. And then, and then Wednesday night on Dynamite, he cuts the pipe bomb of 2022. He digged all the way into Tony Khan. He digged all the way into him paying ex-WWE talent, not recognizing the other pillars, or the day one AEW
AEW people.
wrestlers. And a lot of what he said was true.
Right.
Um,
Including Tony Khan being a fucking mark.
He is a
Yeah.
fucking mark. A
um,
fucking mark with money. Yes.
That's my confession, gentlemen. So am I. See it right next to the name. I too. am a fucking
no, you're Chris.
Mark.
So,
mark.
so yeah, I mean, I agree. There's a lot of things. Definitely one of the top promos of
I'd
the
say
last
so.
10 years.
I'd say so. We got to give it to him.
He was one line away from a Coca bar. That's all I'm saying.
I'd say so. It felt raw. Like it just felt really raw. Now, opinions aside, whether this is a work or a shoot or both, there are such things as work shoots, meaning that he could
Yes,
probably
sir.
completely unscripted, and just
Wait,
in a
before you
working
continue,
context. Talk
real
about what he
quick.
says.
Working shoots.
Mm-hmm.
Can you name a couple people? A couple instances.
A couple instances of a work
CM
shoot.
Punk.
CM Punk's pipe bomb is the biggest instance of a work
The pipe
shoot
bomb.
promo.
Until
pipe
this
bomb,
one.
the original pipe bomb, is an instance of a work to shoot promo. He was given a microphone and allowed to say what he wanted to say within the realm of, as long as you not get quote unquote too personal, here, have at it. The only other real instance I can think of a worked shoot, goodness gracious.
You think of anything
Joey
old?
Styles.
Joey Styles, that was another one. That was a work shoot. That was
Joey
a really
Styles
good
on Monday Night Raw.
Joey
That
Styles'
was a really good
promo.
one.
That was like the pipe bomb before the term was cool. Like his promo was pretty fucking scathing.
Miz and Brian.
Yeah, Miz and Brian.
On Talking
Yeah,
Smack.
I think that might have been a work shoot.
Yeah.
I think that might have been a work shoot. That's another good one.
Because he explained it on I don't know if it was Evil or something of the sort.
Another work shoot promo I can think of. And this just happened, and I just thought of this, and that was a shoot. Montreal Screwdriver was a shoot.
Smojo.
Muhammad Hassan, when they had to pull his segment off of that SmackDown because of the London bombings, and he came out the next night and said like a lot of true shit. Like people were talking about, and nobody, and this is like still obscure, like to this day, not too many people think about it, but he was saying a lot of things like, you know, I think people can't handle the fact that obviously the guy wasn't an Arab American. He's actually Italian, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually a school principal also.
Yeah,
not really a school principal, but the guy basically said, you know, something to the effect like, yeah, as a Muslim American, I play this character, but a lot of people can't handle it, this, that, and the third, something to that effect. I can't really remember the words off of the top of my head, but that was a worked shoot promo, and he was allowed basically to clear the air on the incident that happened.
I think he said also something along the lines of like people are quick to blame, you know, an entire race
of people
instead of and quick to cast judgments, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just because, you know, a person of that descent.
Yeah, that was a work. Yeah, that was a work shoot.
One bad apple spoils the bunch, basically.
Yeah,
right.
I'm pretty sure, and this is another one too that's really obscure, but I make sure to go back and watch this one. It's really obscure is when Ric Flair cut a promo on Vince McMahon. Paul Heyman has a work shoot promo.
Oh yeah.
Paul Heyman has tons.
He has a work.
I mean, you think of Paul Heyman. Shoot, you could do
his promo at One Night Stand was a work shoot promo. His promo against Vince before the Survivor Series in 2001 was a work shoot.
Didn't he have one on SmackDown where he just had the open mic and he was talking shit?
He might have
live on SmackDown.
I mean,
probably had a couple of them. But
listen, everything he does is a work shoot.
The one that I was going to talk before we get into MJF stuff again. But one I was going to talk about is Ric Flair talking to Vince McMahon. It's like a Christmas episode of SmackDown. Mm-hmm. And he looks at him and he goes through like when he like a history, like he was in the NWA. He knew like the WWE was always better than us, this, that, and the third. And then he got hired to the big time. He wins the Royal Rumble, wins the championship, gets to WrestleMania, and he like wrestles the big time and feels like $1 million, and Vince said something to him like the effect, every time you take a step forward, you take 2 steps back. And then he looked at him, and he like, you could see him wind up, and he says,
"Oh my God,
who are you to ever tell me how to wrestle?
remember
I'm
that.
Ric Flair, and you're Vince
remember
McMahon." And I'm like, this is the great. It's to me, I still watch it and get goosebumps, because it's like you could see the raw emotion in Ric Flair's face. Like, my son watches you on TV and he says, man, Vince McMahon is so buff and he's so jacked. And he's like, what? Like, I'm Ric Flair, damn it. Like, you be talking about me like that. I'm like the greatest professional wrestler in the world. And he looks at Vince McMahon, and this is the working part. Like, but I totally believe Flair's emotion was real. I don't care if that was scripted or not. Like, I really felt like he wanted to tell Vince
one
McMahon.
of the best work shoot promos is Black Machismo and Ric Flair. No, I'm just messing.
Oh,
but that promo
that
is
was fun.
legendary.
That was fun.
But let me tell you,
yo, what's going on?
Your boy MJF. What made this promo beautiful is that everything was the truth.
Yep.
Everything that MJF is saying, you think this is why
fans.
This is why you need to we have to protect our fellow heels. You have to protect them forever.
Really
because heels, one thing about heels they're going to do, they're going to tell you the truth. Yeah, they're the villains.
The good
ones.
They're
the bad guys. Absolutely. Yeah. but one thing that a villain is always going to do, they'll tell you the truth.
Tell you the truth.
The good ones, yeah.
I tell people this all the time. Villains, when you're an adult, you listen to the villains.
Yeah, of course, when you're a kid, you believe in the heroes and the kids because the heroes, they're good, they're role models. But when as you get older, you realize that the role models are the liars.
Yep.
And the truth tellers are the villains. They weren't wrong.
Yeah.
Now, with everything with MJF, for all of this going on, he has every right to be upset and be frustrated. We've already seen it. We've all heard the stories out that, he's clearly the one that's getting, as one of the AEW originals, that's getting underpaid. You're not getting paid compared to the WWE, ex-WWE guys that are here now.
Yeah.
They're getting paid more than him. Anyone that's at a job, if you're over here, you've been working here for umpteenth number of years, and here goes this new segment of people that are getting a way big higher raise than you, and you're still stuck there, every worker gets frustrated. We're all gonna get frustrated. You're all gonna be pissed because you deserve it. You know what you're worth. You deserve to be paid better. MJF deserves to feel this way. Him not showing up to meet and greets, he deserves to be paid for this. Him saying it straight up, he's the second biggest draw in the company. I said this. I said it before. I say it again. MJF is literally their best heel in the company. He's their best heel. He should be getting paid like that. He's not. If everybody else is getting opportunities and everybody getting all this over him, and he's just there in the back, just chilling, or he said everything, and he said it. Everything he touches turns to gold. He wasn't wrong. Everything he touches turns to gold. Even this whole.
Go ahead. I don't mean to cut you off. Yeah, I honestly think, though, again, speculation aside, I don't know. I think this is a work shoot primarily because does he want to get paid more? Absolutely.
Well, yeah.
He's stated that intention. I think he wants to get paid more, and he also wants to negotiate at the end. He wants his cake and he wants to eat it too. But before we get into that, I think this promo makes him a face.
Right.
To me, it makes him a face. He's out there.
What's funny?
He's saying I deserve these opportunities because I deliver.
Good, Drew.
You know what's funny?
And it's not from the standpoint. Give me 1 second.
No,
it's not from the standpoint of the typical heel. I'm a champion. I deliver. I should be treated better, or whatever have you. Right. He's talking about the actual goddamn business.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm the biggest. The second biggest minute to ratio draw in the company, or minute to rate, or whatever he said.
Let's not sit here and act like anytime, when MJF shows up on that screen, the TVs turn on, the ratings go up. When MJF's off that screen,
and he said something that applies to us as podcasters who are not in the wrestling business. He said something that applies to the armchair quarterback fans that we've all been accused and all been guilty of doing before. Our opinions can get fickle sometimes, and we can, talk about a lot of shit that we don't have, we're not completely privy to, and
Because-
it's like, you know, he's not wrong in the sense of like, you know, there are a lot of people who, for example, when Sasha and Naomi recently walked from the WWE, call, oh, they're so unprofessional, and then there's, you know, they should do what they're told. They were presented, you know, they were champions, they were presented with the storyline, and they're revolting, this, that, and the third. No tears for him. Like, you know, he's
exactly like if anything with like him, they're saying is like, oh, they'll say like, all right, boom, yeah, MJF, he's just being unprofessional. He better sit here.
Now he's an
they're basically
person.
They're basically telling him to pull up his pants and start licking the bootstraps again. Oh,
do what he's told. Like, you got to keep
what he's told, because if he goes to WWE, he's just a Miz clone. Like,
right?
As if like
like that's a bad thing.
Now, yeah, like being compared to the Miz is not a bad thing. Like,
number one, I think I would hope anybody in the wrestling business that's not in a major American company or independent or whatever have you should want a career like the Miz. The Miz, number one, has rarely been hurt. He's always gotten prominent TV time. He's a hell of a talker,
and he's wrestled some of the best ever.
He's not. Not only that, he's not a bad wrestler. I think, like, once again, I think people get caught up in the moves. And just because he doesn't do 30 variations of a suplex doesn't mean that he can't wrestle.
He can wrestle.
If he can make me tune in, yeah. If he can make me tune into a show and make me want to see somebody punch his ass in the face, he's doing his job.
Yep.
He's doing his job. MJF does that.
Yep.
And it's like Sammy Guevara does that for all the wrong reasons. But you know, he's able to put asses in seats by talking. And it's like, if honestly, and this is me getting speculatory, if they lose MJF, they've lost a blue chip they've lost a big part of their company.
He said one thing that I liked about this promo with MJF is that he's definitely confident and because he believes it. He manifests it and he believes exactly what he says.
And
he's a generational talent. He's 26 years old. A 26-year-old is cutting a promo. He's cutting a promo that so many others were cutting when they were in their late 30s. He is literally 26. He's still a young spry, still a young spry young man. Still really not. He didn't even touch his prime yet.
He even hit his prime. He's doing what the fuck he's doing now.
This kid is not even his peak, and he knows he's a generational talent. Yeah. So yes, anyone sitting here trying to say like, if MJF walks and if he leaves AEW, we're not worried. There's so much more talent. No, you may have a much better talent that could really wrestle, but you ain't got nobody else on that roster that talks like MJF. You don't. You're lying. You're lying to yourselves. If y'all let MJF walk,
and we're not. I don't think they have anybody that talks quite like MJF. From the standpoint of, I don't think that he has to mention, like, he doesn't have to hit like the internet tropes to get people to pop, like that type of cheap heat. Like Bryan Danielson effectively turned heel by saying that he wrestled at a WrestleMania and he was bigger than Adam Page, essentially.
Yep.
Like bottom line, that's what helped him turn heel. Like the fact that he mentioned, the Evil Empire helped him turn heel. MJF does it, and he manages not only to pop the crowd, but it's like, he's got a point. How many other more people are going to get paid more than him that are from the WWE? And he said very subtly, he said a line that really brought everything home because he hinted at leaving. He said, if I became an ex-WWE guy, would you pay me more?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what tied everything home. And that's what makes me say, like, this might be a work shoot. And if it is a work, God bless him. Because this has everybody talking in all the right people.
But he's had this story for over 2 years now. He's been keeping this story up.
But you know what? I'm glad that they didn't do like Tony Khan coming out and responding to him, because that would have nosedived the segment immediately.
Yep.
He would have just came out and responded. It was like, okay, this is a work. Like,
we're like, it's not
thank
even
God
that.
they didn't follow that up.
Yeah, because it's like, they already know that. Then not even like it went black. They said after it went to commercial, CM Punk came out limping. and MJF ran into the crowd.
Limped out
Obviously,
after him.
and that's
A whole
fine.
bunch of stuff to get people to
Yeah,
speculate.
You don't come out, but you send your company man out. And it's like, oh, okay.
That's why I say
All
corporate punk might be
That's why I think it's a work shoot.
You know why I'll agree with you with that, saying it's like it's corporate punk, because I mean you see it in the media scrums. You see how much like Tony like obsesses over Punk.
right.
Like and I could see why again that promo goes back to being so passionate. It's like, bro,
that's why he came out.
It's like, bro, like you are so obsessed with this ex WWE guy. You're so obsessed with him.
Mhm.
What happened to your AEW originals?
Yep.
And you know, it's just, and like I said, but overall, do I really do feel that MJF needs to be paid? Yeah, he needs to be paid top dollar. Don't let him sign an extension, because we know how these contracts work. Extensions, you're not going to see the rest of that money time soon.
Sign him a full-blown fucking contract.
Give him the full-blown contract now. He wants all the money now. Give it to him. And if you're not going to give it to him, you might as well let him walk. And somebody else will pay him top dollar.
MJF, right? I think the biggest takeaway that we all know from this is, regardless of wherever he goes, he's going to get a lot of fucking money. Number one. Number two, if there's anybody in AEW who
all the time
can make an instant impact, Cody aside, that if he went to WWE, it is MJF.
Yeah.
He already has the one skill I think WWE values above all else. He can talk. A lot of these people. And I mean, no disrespect to the
cannot talk.
The guys like Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, they don't talk. I don't know how well he can talk, because you rarely hear them talk. Christian does all the talking. That's why he's with them.
Jungle Boy could talk.
No, I mean, so can Luchasaurus. So
that remains to be seen.
But it's been rare. It's been rare you hear them have a cut.
But that remains to be seen.
Right.
On AEW television.
But again, there's a reason why Christian is with them. The Lucha Bros, another guy, like fantastic in-ring workers, can't talk worth a damn. Andrade, fantastic in-ring worker, can't talk worth a damn. And it's like
got Roosh now.
Roosh they have a lot of guys who, sans. I'm not talking when I say like guys that were in WWE and naming them and stuff. I'm not talking about Moxley. Moxley can cut a promo. Brian Danielson can cut a promo, obviously, with the best one. William Regal can cut a promo with the best one.
I mean, fuck what y'all heard. Keith Lee can cut a promo.
There's a lot of guys in AEW that can talk. Yeah. There's a majority of them that don't really have characters. They go out in the ring and they wrestle. Like, that's why I used to always tease Troy. He used to always tell me about, Top Flight and there was another in the Varsity Blondes. I used to always tease him. I was like, "Now, what's the difference between these two teams, other than one team is black and the other team is white?"
Right.
They don't do anything.
They don't do anything. They don't fucking talk.
They slip and fly around the ring, which is really cool. I'm not saying
that. Good point, by the way.
But they don't do anything else. Like, if everybody is a good wrestler, nobody stands out.
Exactly.
Like, nobody stands out. It's like going to a breakdancing convention and everybody dances to the same song. So what? You can do all that shit, but you're doing it.
It's an action movie with no script.
That's the thing. That's the thing that with AEW that they're still trying to find their identity.
It's the Expendables.
Unfortunately, it's just they have a lot of great wrestlers, great fucking wrestlers.
Yeah.
It just so happens that a lot of these great wrestlers just can't talk for shit.
Now,
granted, you now have a champion that could talk his ass off, so that's like, all right, cool, saves it. But
not who could talk his ass off. Who does talk his ass off?
He does.
He does.
That's one thing. He may be older, but he can still talk. So that.
Real quick,
I think all their champions at least could talk in some capacity so far. So not Paige.
I would. I
depends.
Low key. I was low key trying to say I would have said like I'm still on the fence with Kenny.
Kenny was a question.
Let me say this, and the only reason why I say with Kenny is because Kenny had Don Callis. Don Callis,
right?
Don Callis,
but Kenny could talk. It's not like we haven't heard Kenny talk before.
I mean, but Kenny, even then, Kenny was just like he's better as a wrestler than a talker.
Kenny, right. I can't. Well,
I mean, but he's just a better wrestler than talker. Also.
I can't.
Nobody really talks the way.
The only thing with Kenny Omega is I can't take him seriously sometimes. Like when he's cutting like an intense promo, I can't take him.
is MJF, if he stays, is he
Yeah, I
gonna
guess
take off
they
the
do.
belt? Is he gonna take the belt off Punk? I mean,
I don't see him leaving anytime soon. I think it was a work shoot.
I think
I don't
that
see.
works.
I don't see it though.
You have Summer of Punk, make it Summer of Max, and have him take the belt and go wherever the fuck he
funny
wants to
thing
go
is-
and come right back.
The
They're not
funny
gonna give
thing
him the belt.
is,
they're
this
not.
is summer. This is almost literally Summer of Punk.
It's
the ROH
literally at this
version
point.
with
It-
MJF.
if
Like
if
for
it's
those who
gonna-
haven't seen it, like this
Yeah,
is
like,
Summer
if-
of Punk with MJF.
if MJF is supposed to be Punk in this situation and Punk is Cena,
Mhm.
then that's the only way I see this happening.
That's
the only
what
way I
I'm
see
really
this
trying to
Yeah.
push it
I
to.
can see that.
That's the only way I see this belt being taken. Otherwise, MJF probably is never going to see a belt in this company as long as he's here. He's
I
probably
don't think that.
Bro,
I don't
they're
think
three,
that.
bro,
Not
they're
as
3
soon.
years in. They're 3 years in, and once again, you got everybody's only starting to get their wheels turning and thinking now because he went and said it.
Right.
All this time, MJF should have been
Right.
a champion, and he wasn't. Like, so at the end of the day, like, let's not sit here and like sit there and say like, oh, I don't see it now. No, if for the most part, if he hasn't been a champion yet, because others clearly that he's better than are champions over him, he's probably not going to be a champion anytime soon in this company, and that sucks because he is a generational talent. He deserves it. He deserves it.
At least TNT champ.
And then and it's a shame how much of that title, the TNT Championship, has now become a joke. Like there was some type of
Name
prestige to that
Cody.
shit.
Well, I'm
No,
no,
you
yeah,
can't
but
blame
they're
Name Cody.
I mean, but you
Don't
can
blame
tell.
Cody. No, don't blame
but-
Cody. Because at
but
least
you can
Cody
tell that they're
Cody
trying
was
to-
bringing some type of prominence to that shit. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't
I mean,
do that
look,
shit.
listen. They're trying their best. A lot of people. The only reason a lot of people find it a joke is because it once belonged to Sammy Guevara. That's the only reason people are saying that shit. Outside of that, Scorpio Sky has yet to really have any real prominence with it because he's just been in this feud. Now he is going to have these matches. We have to wait and see. Period.
Yep.
But the belt looks good with the gold and the
Amazing.
purple.
It does.
The nickname
Positive.
Genie, I think, is pretty fucking cool.
You know.
I thought that was pretty
purple and
cool.
gold. Purple and gold. Homage. Good old homage.
Yeah, I'm homage
Yeah,
to
from
the Lakers and
Los
Kobe.
Angeles, so purple and gold makes sense.
But it's fun. You know what I mean?
Maddie,
it's a beautiful belt.
Maddie, you were absolutely right.
He's right.
I forgot about
He's
it.
absolutely right. After
She's
Miro,
absolutely
Miro was the last good champion. She's
Miro
absolutely
really
right.
was the last good champion. Like, damn, he was the last good
But I mean,
champion.
That was also
I-
only 2 champions ago. You know what I mean? I mean, it's Sammy and then it's
No,
It was
Scorpio and
Sammy, Cody,
Sammy again, Scorpio.
Sammy,
Okay.
and then
Sammy.
Scorpio again.
all right,
Scorpio.
right. But what I'm
Yeah.
saying is that it wasn't that many.
I blame Cody.
You know what I'm
I don't blame
saying?
You're always gonna blame Cody, but you be cheering him on when he coming outside now.
I don't blame Cody.
He
for
don't
the
have a
shit
belt.
fact.
Keep that
But it's-
same energy.
I
He don't
blame-
have a
Keep
belt.
that same fucking energy.
I don't blame.
He taking
the
Cody
belt
for
from
the
Roman.
fact Of,
Keep that fucking energy.
It's different.
Don't boo that. Don't cheer
It's
that
different.
nigga.
That's right.
You
It's
boo
different.
that nigga.
That's right.
It's
You are not
different.
allowed to cheer him.
Talk your shit came off, but you let him know.
number one, number one.
Fuck that noise.
I think with the TNT title,
Shit.
number one, Sammy Guevara can't
Can't
sell.
stand
Number
GQ.
one,
Nope.
fucking Sullivan. Can't sell because he'll do like a 630 senton through a table and then pop his ass right back up. You won't even sell it.
Yeah, and don't
With
worry,
the
we'll
ra-
feel that.
with
We'll feel that
ribs.
down the line. We'll feel that down the
Right.
road. We'll feel
And
it.
Wait, who we talking about?
Sammy.
Guevara.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people.
He's gonna hurt way later.
I think
He's
I
hurting
think a
now.
lot of
Watch his
people
walk.
honestly were sick and tired of this storyline and checked out. And I think
Yeah.
the title was a casualty of that.
Yeah,
After his contract.
Scorpio Sky needs a challenger and like ASAP.
Well,
Like,
he's facing Dante Martin.
yeah, I
just have
think,
to
I
see
think
what happens
matches like
after that.
they got to get the title back on track. Like I think that him having those type of matches and then like the occasional big name challenger, like if you gave me Scorpio Sky versus like Bryan Danielson, that
would
inject
be
that into my vein, I would be so ready for that match.
That would be crazy.
Like he's got to make some big name title defenses
Yep.
to me, like in order to get the title back on track. And I'm not saying Dante Martin isn't one because he had a hell of a singles run before his brother unfortunately got hurt
No,
again.
but certain names bring certain eyes to the table.
It's the
And-
title, yeah.
And
Wardlow's a good choice. Yeah.
Danielson Moxley,
War,
even
does,
people like Yuta, Samoa Joe,
Eddie Kingston, Samoa
Eddie
Joe,
Kingston,
Jay
Pride
Lethal.
and Powerful. Like, there's a lot of people. There's just bottom line is that there's a lot of
Warlow-
talent. You just have to
does
see where it
Warlow
goes.
No, let him wrestle Jericho.
Let's do this. Does Cody ever come back to AEW?
After his contract.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he's gonna.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure
know.
he's gonna end his career in the WWE.
I think the story of him being the prodigal son.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
the best thing
being
to
the
do
prodigal
now.
son, he'll stay over there. The next question: does Warlow take
Yeah,
the
that's what I was
off
jumping
his contract?
to.
That would be
Good
fun.
choice.
I think that would be fun.
Believe it or not,
Wardlow.
believe it or not, looking at the standings, Wardlow is actually the one next in line for
Yeah.
Yep.
either of these
He can
titles.
choose
both
either
titles.
TNT or AEW.
I think he would. It would be better to put TNT title on him because he's not ready for the AEW championship. He's not.
Nah, not right now. Not right
He's
now.
not ready. No. Warlow's not ready.
Let Punk
we love him.
run.
love
Let
Warlow.
Punk's
We
run
love-
go happen.
Even though we love Warlow, he ain't ready for that.
He has the
ain't ready.
potential.
Actually,
He ain't ready.
He has the potential to be the next big face of the company. I think.
right.
Wardlow.
Well,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
I was
sure.
gonna
I think
say
he has the potential to be the next big face of the company.
I was gonna say if MJF takes the belt from Punk, it's MJF and Wardlow again for a title this time. If that happens,
I honestly think he has the potential to be the next big face of the company because when he turned face originally and then he surprised the hell out of me because I didn't know he could talk.
yeah, that promo.
That was a really good goddamn promo. And I was like, he came across as genuine.
Mm-hmm.
He came across as he told the story about his mom. Like he got sympathy from the crowd that was genuine sympathy. And it was like, like how
That's
could
so
you
true.
hate this guy? Like,
Right.
like he's doing this stuff. He came across as having noble intentions. Like, we actually sympathize with the guy. And that's hard for big guys to do.
Yeah.
Especially somebody as big as him. He's jacked to all hell. But I honestly think he has a potential to be, and to use the Paul Heyman quote, the next big thing, especially for AEW. I think
sure.
I think he could be the guy.
Something before we get into this coming Sunday, I just wanted to speak about the first match announced on the Forbidden Door pay-per-view, which will be the AEW World Champion CM Punk versus the Ace of New Japan.
I think I'm doing it right. I think I'm doing it right.
This way.
Yeah. Is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, his fingers are closed.
Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Hiroshi Tanahashi. This is, no matter how y'all feel about people being old or whatever the fuck, this is truly a match that I think a lot of people wanted to see. I wasn't expecting it to be Tanahashi, to be honest with you. I was kind of actually expecting it to be somebody either like Okada or even Naito. I thought that would have been a crazy match, him and Naito.
That is who is supposed to face Punk.
Yeah,
not like it's what makes it funny. Came over. It's funny how Mox has been calling Tana out for a good year, and
he's been ducking him.
Get you over here, you go after Punk. Oh hell no! Like,
here's the thing too.
I'll be living right now. Like, are you kidding me?
Well, here's the thing too. They actually did just have that 5-way U.S. title match, to which Juice Robinson won.
Yes, he did.
This is pre Bullet Club or
no? This is like
after
a couple days ago.
Okay, shit, nice.
Yeah. Nice. This is literally a couple days ago. This is in DC. This was
the Capital Collision.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I think that's a great headline. You have somebody who undoubtedly is in history, is probably has one of the best careers in pro wrestling history.
He is the ace of New Japan. So
yeah, and then you have CM Punk, who has opened the doors for a lot of people, has such an amazing wrestling history and story. You literally just have two consummate professionals.
Quick interruption. Who opened the door for Tanahashi?
Are you about to say Kenta?
Security guard.
Oh God. If he was gonna say Kenta, I was about to end the show.
Why would I say Kenta? What?
We're not doing this.
Hey, go walk
It's an
Falcor. Don't
American
fly
wrestler.
away. Don't fly away. It's cool. Get it? Because it's Falcor.
Try the veal. You'll be here all night.
Shut up and smash that like, people.
Smash that
What she
like.
said.
Check out Top Rope Squishy on YouTube.
Go to
That's
Top
right.
I mean, he said it before I did. So
Yeah.
www.topropes youtube.com
wow.
/Top Rope Squishy.
Wow, you're better off just letting me do it.
Yeah, no.
But no, it was Scott Hall. Scott Hall was one of Tanahashi's big matches as a young boy.
Now, granted, I know I'm kind of glad. Like I'm not. I don't want to like see Punk go against Tana. I would, as I said, I would have rather it be Naito. I'm also kind of, but I'm kind of happy that it's not Okada, because I would have been pissed if Punk.
It would have been a squash.
I would have been mad if Punk ended up beating God. I would have been like, okay, that's enough. Like, I'd have been living. I mean, because you already know, like, Okada's like, he's God of New Japan. So it's just like, all right,
Yep.
I think that's the bigger question.
But wait,
who's actually going
to go ahead? Who's going to face Okada?
Yeah, like if he actually is going to come, if he's going to like take part in this, and who would be the one to face him?
So I'm going to say this man, even though I think this man is going to face somebody else. Dude, it has to be Danielson.
Bryanson.
What? Yeah, my bad.
It has to. Honestly,
versus Okada. Okay.
Make it a draw.
But the reason why I said I don't think he's going to face Okada is because I think he's going to face Zack Sabre Jr.,
which is really good. That's another match that we wanted to see for a long time.
Yeah, man.
Long time. And Zach's run in New Japan at this moment,
yeah, that's when we go.
It's going to be crazy.
That'll be crazy.
Yeah. Now, who wins?
I can't. I was about to say.
I'd give it to Bryan. I would give that match to Bryan.
Yeah,
I was going to say Zach. I was going to say Zach.
Yeah,
I still
think Zach wins.
Bryan wins, and then Regal comes out and unites those two, and then Sabre is in the Blackpool combat.
That would be fucking
that's
crazy,
a match,
but
no, bro.
That won't happen.
That's a dream.
I think we get some Suzuki Gun versus Blackpool Combat Club.
Nah, man. My thing is, I wish that Sonata wasn't injured, because it would be a faction war between the Undisputed Elite and LIJ.
Yeah.
What?
Including Andrade and Roosh?
No. They go somewhere else. Just LIJ. LIJ
is literally what, 4 people at this moment without Sonata?
Didn't I just said that. I wish that he wasn't hurt.
And the Undisputed Elite is like what, 7 people?
It's 5 people.
Oh, okay. Well,
so either way, even if you do the 4 of LIJ, you can still do the Undisputed Elite and have Adam Cole face somebody else.
Yeah.
So you can still make that happen.
But
so who's Adam Cole facing and who's Jay White facing?
They can face each other. That is the match right there.
They said they're not. They said the pay-per-view's about them, meaning they're not fighting each other.
Yeah, up until someone super kicks the other. I'm still gonna say it's gonna be them.
I still say it's Akibono.
Akibono? I hate you.
I said what I said.
Yokozuna's gonna rise from the grave.
He stays firm in what he believes.
we get a Japanese style Hulk Hogan. That's what's gonna happen.
I just
actual wrestling Hulk Hogan. He was nice in Japan.
There's a picture of him doing an enziguri, and like my brain, like I had like a seizure for a second when
his
see him in the mid move.
Would dope. But Forbidden Door is what, July, right?
June 26th.
No, June 26th. Wow.
There you go.
Wow,
June
that's
26th.
So
is,
they are pulling a WrestleMania with
Yes,
the
sir.
Forbidden Door.
that's
and
a
that
big
will
deal.
be in
That's a really big
Chicago.
deal. Wow.
Yeah.
I'll tell y'all right off air. I'll tell y'all off air. Damn.
So,
And we got Hell in a Cell, right? This Sunday.
yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell in a Cell is this Sunday. WWE Hell in a Cell. Which to most people just seems like it's a Raw pay-per-view
It is.
because it
Barely any
is
SmackDown.
all Raw talent.
Matches. Yeah.
So I'm just gonna run through the card. And we're gonna talk about one specific match. So we have for the United States Championship, we have Theory versus Mustafa Ali. We have Finn Balor, AJ Styles, and Liv Morgan versus The Judgment Day. By the way, shout out Rhea Ripley's Neutron and music. Sounds dope. We have Ezekiel versus KO, Kevin Owens. We have Bobby Lashley versus Omos and MVP in a handicap match. We have Bianca Belair, Asuka, and Becky Lynch in a triple threat for the Raw Women's Championship. And the main event, which is the match we are going to talk about, is Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins 3 inside Hell in a Cell. Cody Rhodes has been back since WrestleMania. He has been on fire. He is up 2-0 in matches against Seth Rollins, which is driving Seth Rollins insane, which culminates into this match in Hell in a Cell. This past Monday, Rollins stated, you and your little friends tried to create something to tear down what I built. I'm like, and then you want to come back and, portray yourself as the prodigal son. I'm not having it. I am not having it. So here's the thing. And I kind of agree. Who's going to win? I personally see that it will be Rollins.
It will be Rollins. Reason why? He needs to get over his demon in the Hell in a Cell match.
Rollins wins.
I'll go the opposite. I'll go.
You
with
think Cody gets the 3-0?
This is the final time they're actually going to be. This is the final time in this feud that they're going against each other, and
that we know of.
Yeah, we know of for the moment. And this is Cody's second ever Hell in a Cell match.
Mm-hmm.
He did lose to Seth the time before because they have faced each other in the Hell in a Cell before. I think they did it as a tag team. He lost.
Yep. You're right.
That's right. Never forgot about that.
The history.
So it would really pay. You already have Cody on this monstrous run. It's okay if he wins. The thing is about Seth is he's at this point of his career now that he can win or lose and he's still going to be the top guy, no matter what. He's still one of the best. It doesn't matter. He can eat this loss. He can eat this loss to Cody. And I think it would be good if after this is done, the feud is over. They can move forward. These two figure out something else to do. This is, I think, Akin Seth's so-called spiral. I put his spiral as the same as his wife. Like they're spiraling. They are spiraling, and you're seeing them. Like it's wonderful to see because now you're really trying to see like, all right, how much more can they delve into the characters? Like what more can they do? What else can they reinvent? Yeah. Like, because remember, I mean, it's just good for the feud. Like you saw it before with Seth. We all used to be singing his shit when he was coming out as the drip god and all that. But now everybody's singing Kingdom. Everybody's singing Cody Rhodes' theme song.
That song since I heard it.
Everyone's singing it now. Like you literally can hear it now on like all these Raw screens. Like they are singing it in unison. So it's just like I would think that it would make sense to just let Cody win. Let Cody get that win. That'll just be another accolade on the belt. Like, oh wow, Cody won a Hell in a Cell match. But I feel like this match needs to be bloody. There's gotta be blood in this match. They gotta make this. Somebody got to get thrown off the cell. Somebody has to be like out of commission. Somebody has to eat like maybe like 2 or 3 crossroads or like 2 or 3 curb stomps. Like somebody, it's got to be blood.
Or both of them are gonna eat 2 or 3. More than possible.
Like if Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks is probably the damn near perfect Hell in a Cell match, this needs to top it. They need to top that. That's what that's what I want them to exceed my expectations. I want Rollins and Cody to tear this house down and somehow make this Hell in a Cell match for the men. This is the best of the year.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be real interesting. Honestly, it's not a bad card. Yeah, there's a few rematches, but I mean, look, I think there's a lot of potential in these matches. There's a lot of. Is it just one cell match? Yes, it is only one cell match.
Yeah, it's only one cell match.
Time.
Thank God.
Hopefully they don't do the red light because that would suck. But
they didn't do it the last time, did they?
No, I don't think so.
Right, so
they didn't do it in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, well, it's also Saudi Arabia. But yeah, that's Hell in a Cell this Sunday. I think there's a lot going on in wrestling as a whole right now. We already know the biggest news is MJF, so you know, right now I think AEW kind of has the attention of a lot of wrestling fans because of the situation with MJF. So, you know, it'll be the next couple of weeks are going to be real exciting. We have this pay-per-view, so that's Hell in a Cell coming up. We also have Money in the Bank in a month, right? Or SummerSlam next? No, SummerSlam is July.
No, SummerSlam is in August. Money in the Bank will be.
No, I thought they pushed it.
SummerSlam is end of July.
They pushed it to the end of July now.
It's end of July. Oh, it's not August.
It's July 30th.
Okay. It just feels dirty. The end of July.
It's July 30th, and then they have another pay-per-view on July 3rd.
Oh, okay.
So Money in the Bank, I think, is end of June, or
July
maybe
2nd.
it's June. Okay, so Money in the Bank is the one for July 2nd.
Money in the Bank is July 2nd, and SummerSlam is...
I think it's 7:30, which is July 30th, and that's going to be in Vegas again. I think.
Yeah.
No, it's going to be in SoFi.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, July 30th.
All right, cool.
Forbidden Door is coming up. Also, if y'all haven't gotten your tickets yet, please go to blackwrestlefest.com. Support. That will be in New York, Pretty Heels. But there's a whole bunch of matches. Prolific is in a 3-way. I believe Trisha Dora is defending the Icons title against Willow, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a whole hell of a lot going on.
What else is WrestleFest weekend?
I don't know.
June.
Oh, yeah,
what else is
Juneteenth. That is the anniversary show. Or at least the anniversary. It will be the 2-year anniversary of the Four Corners. So we will let y'all know what is going on with that. That'll be fun. There's a lot of things. Father's Day is also that day. That's the 19th.
A lot of stuff happening.
There's way too much going on, man. But excuse me. But as we kind of just wrap everything up, once again, we just want to say thank you. Shouts out to Dirty Heels one more time for the invites. We really appreciate y'all. And gentlemen, as always, let's do what we do.
Go ahead, put it up on the screen.
Nope, wrong one. Sorry.
Messing up, damn it.
I clicked the wrong.
Sound engineer that's not on drugs. See it down there. Follow it out here in these woods. It's unforgivable.
Unforgivable. I was just talking about that.
Good segue. Great pun.
Told her,
Great
I mean
comment.
sandwich.
But as always, it's Mr. After Hours himself. You can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter, Forever Thiefing.
QS leaves a little bit of
yeah.
cess in the mailbox so she can get in some trouble.
Nobody peeped that.
No, they're not gonna pick that one up. But as always, thank you everyone for liking and subscribing. Just please, as you can, just keep subscribe, sharing this page. I know we haven't been as active before, but we're making our way back. We're getting there. Just a lot of things coming up. Just be on the lookout. That's all I could really say. Just thank you all. Love you. Thank you all. Thanks.
Later, Bobby.
Fucking marks.
Excuse me.
It's me, Striker Dragoon. Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, all the same. What happened?
So you got real close to the mic. It's me, Striker Dragoon.
Hello.
He's trying to.
But anyway,
he's trying to imitate me.
He's trying to be you.
He's trying to imitate me.
No, I'd have to touch the pitch for that. Sorry.
It's your man, Dragoon.
You gotta.
I'd have to change the pitch. It's too much.
Yeah, have to go. They gotta go from within your soul.
Yeah,
you gotta speak from the diaphragm.
No soul here, sir.
And you can't teach that.
No soul here, sir.
You can't teach that, really.
I can see your pores, sir. Back up.
Oh shit.
Yes, so Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, all the same. YouTube link, I guess, in the description, or just follow me on Twitter. You'll see the link. I'm streaming a lot as usual. What's today? Thursday. Tomorrow's Fight Fridays. I'll be playing Def Jam Fight for New York and some King of Fighters 15. And Saturday is Deadite night. I will be playing Evil Dead the game. If you are interested, definitely come check it out on Twitter. On Twitch or YouTube. And please subscribe to my YouTube. I am 67 subscribers away from 100. And that officialized years old. I'm not there. I mean, I feel like it. I feel like it. But 67 subs away from 100, and if I get to 100, I get to officialize my YouTube channel, and that way I will stop bothering people to subscribe to the fucking channel. I could just share it out.
All right. Well, first and foremost, I would like to announce that we are finally over 200 subscribers.
Holy
shit! Checking.
We fucking made it.
Yeah.
We made it, Joe.
Mama,
We made it, Joe.
201 subscribers. Theo, I told you if you finally go out there and sell those pudding pops on the corner, that some of the drivers would stop, and then they would come in and they would find out about the pudding pops, and then they would subscribe to the channel and stuff like that, and then they would zip zop zoop zop.
Wow.
We are officially at 201 subs. Appreciate all you mofos that love us, or
I love you, you fucking marks. I love y'all, man.
Yep.
Thank you.
So thank you for subscribing, guys. We really appreciate it.
We won't fire you.
Yeah, as always, I am your man, K Marvel. You can find my Instagram and Twitter at Mr. Marvel87. My Twitch is at Mr. Marvel _
Twitch as well.
_87. Oh my god, I can't.
Broke him.
You can find
that's
the
Four Corners of Commentary on all your favorite streaming platforms.
That's after. You can hashtag the Four Corners of Commentary. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch. At the Council of Commentary. TikTok at Council of Commentary, and Twitter at CO Commentary.
That's right.
You can also
make sure you put
on
the @ sign in front of all those things. Ladies and gentlemen. You can follow the Four Corners of Commentary on all platforms. That's not limited to YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Audible, and of course, my favorite, iHeartRadio. As always, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Four Corners of Commentary, and we're out. Put them up, boys. That's right.